My name is Daniel Clay, and I met Christy when I was 16 years old, and this is episode 2.
My name is Christy Clay. I met Daniel when I was 15 years old, and this is the story of how we met again and two hearts were mended together. Hey YouTube, Christy here, aka Mama Clay, and
What's
we
happening?
are finally back with our part 2 of how we met. So if you haven't seen part 1, you might want to go check that out.
Yes, and welcome back to a highly anticipated
Never duplicated.
Clay Bunch channel. How y'all doing this morning?
How are y'all doing with all this quarantine mess going on? Comment down below and let us know.
Yes.
So we're gonna take y'all on a drive with us. We hope y'all don't mind the bumps and all of that. You watched part 1. We went from how we met in high school to graduation.
Yes.
So now we're gonna go to graduation up until marriage. So this is like gonna be really interesting because we going on memory lane with y'all. Like some of these places,
some of this stuff.
yeah, some of these places we haven't been to in a long time. Living in the apartment with my mom and 2 sisters, and there was just honestly, y'all, no room. There was no room for me and my 2 kids there, and my mom was just like, you got into this time to figure out what you're gonna do and go.
That's it. She was
You know how the little birds get their little birdies and they're like,
yep. Throw 'em
go
out
fly!
there. Tell 'em to fly.
And they might fall and bump their head a couple of times, but you know, eventually they fly. Yeah, that was me. I ended up moving back to Amarillo. Me and Daniel had a conversation, and we had kind of planned together. He was gonna save up. He was working at
Home Depot.
Home Depot. He was gonna save up and get us an apartment back where we used to live, just, you know, a different one. So he was gonna do that, and I was gonna move down here with my brother because he was living with his mom at the time. So I moved back down here with my brother and sister-in-law, y'all, in a 1-bedroom duplex with them and their, how many kids did they have at the time?
3?
3?
I think 3.
3 or 2?
Saray.
I want to say 3 or 2. And I had my 2 kids. So y'all, it was crazy. It was crazy. But I was so thankful for them for opening their home to me. So I moved in with them, and then a couple of months later, Daniel had finally saved up for the apartment, and then I ended up moving in with him. We moved into a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, and I had 3 goals, y'all, when I moved down here. I had 3 goals. I wanted to go back to school, I wanted to get a car, and I wanted to get a place to finally call home, y'all. It was hard back then because it was like I hadn't ever really had a place that was mine, that I could call home, that I felt safe and secure, and it was just mine. And I never had that. And by this time, I'm 18 years old, you know, and have been moved around so many times, just trying to find footing. And so I just really wanted that, y'all. And so I made at that apartment, I made a promise with God that if He would help me get footing and get, you know, these things that my goals reached, that I'll serve Him. And it was just kind of like a out there, like just spewed out my mouth kind of promise that, you know, I'll serve you if, you know, you help me get these things done.
She was trying to cut a deal.
Trying to cut a deal, y'all.
She was trying to cut
So
a
I
deal.
made that, not, you know, I mean, I meant it at the time, but not knowing what it would take, you know.
The reason why she's doing most talking, because I don't remember a lot of this episode in our life, or this particular season of our life. I don't remember. I was checked out, so my mind is
Daniel
still
was
very
still checked out. If y'all watched the first video, he was checked out during my pregnancies and stuff. He's still checked out at this time, y'all. It's been like 2 years. He's
I
still
remember
clocked
like
out.
glimpse, but she has to be the narrator of this part because I don't remember a lot of it.
This apartment when I came back was the first time I started like getting like out there, y'all. Like started, you know, talking to new guys, started partying, started just really kind of getting out there.
Oh, you started.
So me and him, even though we were living together, we weren't together. If you know what I mean. So he was doing his thing and I was doing mine. I ended up getting my car, and after making that promise, I think I was just like tired of the back and forth between me and him. And I was just like, you know what? For the remainder of the time, I'm going to move with my granny. And she had an extra bedroom. And so me and the two kids just end up moving in with her. And so we moved in with her in this small duplex, which actually we're close by right now. Anyway, so I moved in with my granny in a 2-bedroom duplex she was in. And she had an extra room, so we stayed there. And it was like hard, y'all. My granny is a hard person. Like, she don't play no games, y'all.
She's old school.
Like, yeah, she old school, if you know what I mean. She don't play nobody games. And so I knew that moving there was going to force me, get me out of my comfort zone and force me to continue to reach my goals that I wanted to do. So I was going to school by this time. I finally had got a car. Got my first car, y'all. It was a purple Plymouth Breeze. I got on this program with school where they put me in a where it was like it was called the FIT program. So it was like if I continued to go to school, that they would give me this like money to pay for my rent. And I think my rent was like $30, and I moved into a 2-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home. This house was the house I lived in when a lot of things began to change. A lot of things. So I moved in this mobile home, and I thought I was on my grown woman stuff. I had forgot about the promise I made with God. Like, me and Daniel, I was dating other guys, you know, hanging out with different people, and I was working still, going to school. So I'm just like independent woman status. I thought I was just like
I-N-D-E-N-P-E-E-D. Ooh, I don't even know how to spell it.
I-N-E. Oh, hold on. I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that means? She had her own house. I had my own car. I had my own bills. I thought I was on my independent woman status, y'all. And so I was real prideful, y'all. I thought I was so much better than him. I was like,
yes, she did.
I'm like,
that's
on my
facts.
stuff. He ended up getting it. You want to tell that part?
What happened?
You got evicted.
Oh yeah, I ended up getting evicted because when I was living in that apartment, I was spaced out. Back then, there was a lot of alcohol and a lot of weed, just drugs. Just, you know, if you want to just, you know, water it down. No, it was weed. A lot of that was in my life. So a lot of those memories I had, a lot of them were lost. I really think marijuana gives you memory loss. That's just me, because I literally smoked every day. Smoke and drink, and that is a sign of depression.
He ended up getting evicted from his apartment, moving in with his brother and grandma. And I was living in the mobile home, y'all. He would show up at my house, like crying, throwing up.
Throwing up?
Like, you would be drunk, so I would look out my window and you outside throwing up.
Oh wow. See, I don't remember that. I do not remember that.
And like, at this point, I had washed my hands of him. I was just like, done. You know that song, When a Woman's Fed Up,
nothing you can do.
Ain't nothing you can do about it. It's like why didn't you go that way?
Because it's a one-way.
It's like running out of love. And I think at this point was the first time that he was noticing, like, she done.
And we hate that, don't we, brothers? Let me speak to y'all for a minute. Don't we hate when the shoe on the other foot? You know, sometimes we feel like our women can't do no wrong in our eyes. I remember guys telling me, my friends telling me, like, man, listen, your baby mama messing with somebody else, or she's in a relationship, you know what I mean, with someone else. And in my eyes, I'm like, nah, not this one. My girl can't do no wrong. like Cadillac Records. My baby don't stand no cheating. My baby.
But I wasn't your baby though.
But I'm just saying, in my mind.
Oh.
In my mind, even though we weren't together, because you had such a strong love for me, I felt like that would last forever. I felt like I can do you any kind of way, but it'll never come back on me. That type of control that men have over women, as if the woman is not allowed to freely go date, to freely go do what pleases her outside of him, is not allowed.
This is it,
Oh, that's the other backyard.
Y'all, oh, I don't want to be recording people's house, honey. Y'all haven't been back here. Oh man, that brings back so many memories. Golly.
That's crazy.
Does it to you?
Yeah.
I don't know if they could see. Y'all, oh my gosh. Like, I want to cry. Like, I feel it in my neck.
That mobile home, for me, reminded me of her independence outside of me. Because from high school to graduation up until this point, I was not the best person in her life. You know, I was full of myself, full of my own selfish ways, and that mobile home reminds me of how tables turn, and the jealousy, the frustration, the anger that I felt knowing that she wasn't doing better than me, but she was doing better without me. And it goes back to show how sometimes as a man, you never know how good something is until you lose it. So for me, that wasn't the best experience. It wasn't. It reminded me of the mistakes I've made.
That place to me symbolized, I had finally thought that I had found footing on my own, without needing him, without needing my mom, without, you know, I had finally thought that I found footing, that I was doing okay.
I couldn't live here knowing that me and her weren't together, because it got to me. It got to me. The frustration, the jealousy, the fact that I couldn't manipulate her anymore, control her. You know, I didn't love her, but I still wanted her, you know, not to be loved by anybody else but me, even though I didn't love her. I was selfish, but it got to the point that I couldn't be here anymore, you know. So I ended up moving to
They didn't cancel their church service.
Nah. I ended up moving to Lubbock, Texas. My life was kind of parked. I wasn't going anywhere. And I would drown myself in self-pity with alcohol and drugs. That's all. This whole period that we were discussing was filled with a lot of alcohol, drugs, women, clubs,
and I think
parties.
that separated me even more, because I'm like, well, he's a bum.
But you're doing the same thing. It's just that you had more goals intentionally for life than me. We were doing the same thing essentially. Like, you were really no better than me.
Yeah. But I thought, y'all, he was a bum. Like, I would never forget being in that mobile home and him on my front porch with a hanger trying to get a cigarette that had fell in the crack. And I was just like,
Needed that cigarette.
you're
man.
a bum.
Yeah.
He wasn't helping me with the kids at this time, you know. He was checked all the way out by this time. And so I started dating a new guy and had moved on, and that was our lives.
When I came back, I ended up going to jail. You know.
So his friends called me one night, and they were like, D. Clay going to jail? And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, and they're like, well, you got money to bail him out? No. And so I would just hang up, and, you know, he went to jail, and he started calling me from jail, and I'm just like, I wouldn't answer. I remember going to visit him one time, and I took the girls to see, did I take the girls?
I don't know.
Yes, I took the girls to see him one time, and because he kept calling and calling, so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go visit him, because, you know, I got all my stuff together, let's go visit this bum. That was my attitude, y'all. I was really prideful. Like, I really thought I was up here. Like, I really did.
It took a while for her to realize that you really weren't any better than me.
Yeah.
You were just doing the same thing I
It
was
took a
doing
while.
better than me.
Yeah.
You know.
So, basically.
But I mean,
So,
it just depends on how you look at it.
I went to see him, y'all. I had my little purse. I went to see him with my friend's ID. Like, I think I had like tickets or something. And so I went to see him with her ID. Like, but I thought I was doing so much better.
I don't know how did they even let that slide?
I don't know. Y'all, I was brave back
That's
then.
how you know.
I was brave.
Yeah, that's how you know some things are God ordained.
So, I was brave. I came in with her driver's license. She mixed breed. She didn't even look like me. And I'm just like, whatever. And so, by this time, I was also getting pulled over a lot. Because, like, it would be, like, no insurance and then warrants and then stuff like that. So, I remember spending, like, a night, or I would get into booking and then call my mom. But I was so independent, y'all. Call my mom and be like, can you bail me out? And she would always bail me out. And, you know, I went for a DUI. And friends came and bailed me out. So, by this time, I'm also, like playing with fire. This is some letters I wrote to him. Wow, we were in jail.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if y'all can see that. It said from Christy, Sims, Raquel, and Zay. And I lived at that place we just showed y'all. And so I wrote him a letter. I'm gonna read it while we're still driving. Hey Jailbird, LOL. How are you? The girls are doing good, getting bigger over time. Every time I look up. Raquel is so smart, it's amazing. She talks in long sentences now. Zay acts just like her. They both think they're boss. They keep the house interesting. It's never a dull moment. Zay's still been biting at daycare. Hopefully they don't kick her out. Y'all haven't read this letter ever.
Oh wow. Our baby girls are like 11 and 12 now.
I don't even know
This is like they're 5 and 6 now, right here,
They
right?
were 2 and 3,
2
or
and
1
3.
and 2 right here. Hopefully they don't kick her out. Sorry it took so long to write. I've been so busy with the girls and trying to keep my school grades up. Thanks about the new truck. I was really excited about getting it. It looks just like Rodney's, but it's all gray. But anyways, Raquel and Zay misses you a lot and are looking forward to seeing you. Zay walks around saying Dada all the time. It's great that you're trying to get your life together. In class, I learned that weed kills the part of your brain that motivates you. Just thought that was interesting. I've been trying to get my life right too. But it's something I really want to do self-paced and alone, just me. So it's great that you want to get baptized, but I'm just not ready. Sorry. But if you stick to changing, I know you will do great. But hurry up and get out of there so you can be the dad I know you can be. When do you think you're getting out? I really need help with the girls. It's hard. P.S. The girls miss you a lot, and we're all praying for you. Keep your head up.
Oh man, wow.
I have never read that letter.
Oh boy. Y'all, that's tough. I don't want to cry. But just
I've never read that letter.
dang, that brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I remember the hope that I heard in her voice that there was an opportunity that would await us in the future if I could be the man that I know I was called to be. We try to make deals with the Most High. I said, Most High, if you just, make peace. That was the first prayer I prayed in forever. If you make peace between me and the mother of my children, then that's all I could ever ask for. I don't know what was my side of the bargain, but I wanted that peace, and I prayed that. And then I think the next day I got a letter from her. But then I
remember writing you a letter in there. We don't have it. I guess we left it. But the only letter I do remember is the letter I wrote you telling you that I moved on and
yes.
all of that.
Yes, she did did write me a letter because I had made this agreement within my spirit, within myself, that, you know, I have to change. I was insane, you know, sanity, doing the same thing, expecting different results. That's a lesson that we all can learn from. Even if y'all are watching right now, if you are someone who's insane, you're doing the same thing, but you're expecting different results, nothing's ever going to change until you make that resolution within yourself. Yeah, we're at the Potter County Detention Center.
Yeah.
This is where we had the transition in life happen for us.
Yeah.
Both.
So he told his story about getting locked up for 21 days. I went to visit him, and I remember telling y'all I was like up here, super prideful, thinking I was better. And then 3 days later, I was up at the DPS office getting my doing something with my driver's license. And I told y'all I was going to jail for little stuff, you know, then. And not knowing, I had a probation violation against me. And if y'all know about those, if you had one, you know that there's no bond, like nobody can come bail you out. And yeah, I went in there, and 3 days after I visited him, and then a day later, his mom and sister were visiting us both. Mm-hmm. They both came to visit us at the same time so we could see each other. And he was seeing me for the first time behind glass.
Dang, when I seen her, I automatically knew that this was the Most High at work. I already knew that things were going to be able to change for me and her. I knew that we had a chance now. I knew that the Most High was doing something to reconcile us and bring us back together, because it was too crazy.
I remember the first day getting booked. And I told y'all before, I was in and out of jail for little things, and my mom would like bail me out. But this time, like, nobody could bail me out. Like, no. Mama wasn't there to bail me out. Like, nobody could bail me out. Like, I was stuck to deal with my life decisions and to, like we were saying before, sit and be still and think about, you know, everything. Yeah. So I remember putting on my oranges, and I was like historical, crying. I remember the girl in there telling me.
Were they red jumpers though?
Yes, they were red.
Red jumpers.
I remember the girl telling me, if you don't calm down, they gonna stick you in a hole. Cause I was just like, like I was so scared. Get off me! Get off me! I remember the guard being on the phone with my mom. And he was like, oh, yeah, she's in here. Oh, it's going to be a while before she get out. And I heard him say that, and I just broke. Like,
lost it.
Everything just broke. And the first thing I thought in my head, y'all, was he finally got me. Like, he finally got me. Yeah. I remember making that promise years before at the apartments I told y'all. And then now sitting in this cold jail cell and realizing, like, he got me. Like, he got me. And I looked down at my reds, and on one of the legs it said just, and on the other leg it said pray. And I knew, like, I'm not going to leave this jail the same. I went in, he gets out, like, 2 days later.
So when she was in there and we finally seen each other, when I was visiting my mom and she was visiting my sister, and I could turn around and see her through the glass visiting my sister, and then they exit her out to walk her to her cell, she came by, and for the first time in a while, maybe a year and a half, she said, I love you.
Now, how did I say it?
I don't remember what you said.
I did this.
Oh, she threw up the sign. This is our sign.
This is our sign, y'all.
This is not satanic. This is not the Baphomet. This is I love you. We've been doing this for a while.
Now we do it with our kids.
Yeah. She threw that sign
My kids leave the car, and I'm like.
Before I walked up there to see the judge, it was a lady, and I was like, man, I wonder if she's in the cell with Christy. And sure enough, she was. And I was like, let her know that I love her, I'm getting out, and I got her. She don't have to worry about the kids.
And that's the first time you said you were going to take care of the kids. For the first time, he was having to do it. Yeah. And I was away from them, like, for the first time ever. Yeah. I don't even think my kids really ever just spent the night with anybody like that.
No.
So it was it was, when I tell y'all, I fell flat on my face from thinking I was up here.
Yeah.
I was flat on my face. Like,
I was a single father. And man, it was hard, but it
40
felt
days.
so good. It felt so good because I knew that, man, my life is on the right path. You know, I was being intentional. I was making the right choices. My baby girls had their father. Man, I got baptized. My faith came into play at this point. I began to really get in touch with my faith.
everything had switched, y'all,
Yeah.
at this time. I remember him coming to see me, and he had a Texas Tech beanie on and a Texas Tech hoodie. And it was the first time, y'all, since high school, since we met, that my 10th grade year, that I saw that face again. The first time since then that I saw that face again. And I knew, like, he changed. Like, he's not the same. Let me see the letters. Let me just read this one. October 10th, 2010. Hey, we need to talk. I called y'all the other night, and you answered the phone and sounded upset. Tell me what's going on. Daniel, I think of you all the time and the BS we've been through. Not to have made it, I'm sad because I lost my best friend and my first true love. And I'm even more sad because I know that you're sad that I've moved on. I'm scared that we've changed, but always we will raise our kids together. And that makes me happy. I want you to know that I will always love you, and I want more than anything for you to be happy. Daniel, I don't care about the whole boyfriend thing. I want us to remain friends and family members. IDK how long me and the BF will be together, but just know I will never turn against you or your family. I can feel when you're sad, happy, frustrated, or mad. Crazy, huh? But true. I miss my babies. I just want to start crying because I miss them so much. I'm going to do everything to try to get out of here early. There's a lot of girls in here who hate me and they talk crap all day.
She had beef, boy.
But God is teaching me to be humble, so I'm good for now. Just be sure to keep me in your prayers and make the girls pray with you too. LOL. We made some smart little girls, and it's all up to us to protect them and guide them in the right way. But we're going to make it, D. Clay. LOL. You just growing up. I don't even know who you are anymore. We need to catch up or something. Maybe when I get out, we can go to lunch as a family, if you're okay with that. You're lucky you didn't have to spend your birthday in this place. I'm going to be so depressed when it rolls around. But I'll be okay. It's nothing. I just have to thank God for at least blessing me to see another birthday. When I asked you to kiss the girls for me, I hope you're doing it. It's sad that when I get out, it's going to be cold and I won't get to take my babies to the park. I wish we can just chill. Even if we don't say a word, I just miss being in your presence. I know I need to just shut up, but I'm in my mood where I just want you to know how I feel.
I miss those times.
We need to take a cry break. And it sucks. All I see is the girls in my freaking head. But like you said, hopefully God can restore us. Only time can tell. I just gotta move at my pace, you know. October 19th, 2010. This is my birthday. So today is my birthday. It really sucks, but it's okay. My dad and granny came to see me. They both were like, you need to get with Daniel, out of the blue. LOL. I was thinking about a lot last night. And when I get out, we need to have a long talk. Send me some more Bible scripts. P.S. Just between us, I don't think I want to date my boyfriend anymore.
Boy had game. The boy had game and it was righteous.
This was October 11th. Can't help to stop thinking maybe you really changed this time. When my dad came to see me, he says he thinks you really have changed. Everything in me wants to run back to you, but I can't. I have to see change for myself. For the past few days in here, I can't help but to keep thinking about all the bad things we've been through, and it hurts. I ask myself, how can God restore a relationship that was so painful and full of lies? When I first met you, I told myself that no matter what, I was going to stick by you. And I've been thinking, maybe it was against God's will to pull up with all that crap. But I kept taking it because I saw, or to put up with all that crap, sorry. But I kept taking it because I saw that I want what I wanted. And whether God wanted it for me or not, I kept pursuing you against his will. My heart says maybe we will be together and married at Nunu's church. LOL. That's my grandpa.
No.
But I'm not going to give up everything for you until I know 100% it's the right thing, until I'm ready.
Golly, I remember reading those letters and I had so much hope. I knew I had got her back. But key note, God restores relationships by restoring the people who are in the relationship. When she got out, reality hit that she didn't know she was ready to get back in a relationship with me, you know. And I remember my sister, shout out to Tish, you know, I remember her telling me, like, you have to serve the Most High and love the Most High and walk in your faith regardless if she is going to do it or not. You can't do it for her because that's like making a deal. And the Most High is not about making deals. Either you give him all of you or you don't. What matters of faith apply.
I found that out the hard way.
Yeah, what matters of faith. So I decided to say, you know what? If me and her get back together, it's in his will. If not, obviously it must be in his will. There was too much damage done for me on her part, and there was no reconciliation at this point, and I have to be okay with that. So, you know, I stopped pursuing her like that.
Somewhere along the line, I had wrote him and was like, I think I want to get baptized. And it was
no, but this was when you were
when I was in jail. I wrote you and I was like, I think I want to be baptized. Okay. And I don't know how long it took for my heart to kind of change and to know, like, this isn't the life that I'm living is not the life that's for me. And I don't know how long it took, but I remember many, many nights, y'all, laying on that cold bed and just crying and singing any kind of encouraging song that I remembered, and just hearing God's voice really near, and knowing that he had a purpose and a plan for me, and Absolutely. That I had forsook that, and that he had so much better for me than the life that I was living. And it wasn't, what I love about our story is it wasn't a man that brought us
absolutely not.
To him.
There was no middleman involved.
It wasn't a pastor. It wasn't none of that, y'all. It was him directly grabbing us out of the world and locking us up to where nobody was going to touch us. Yeah. And then he began to speak life. And he began to blow breath into our being, y'all.
We were dead bones.
Yes. Yeah. And he began to rattle those dry bones and brought them back to life. And I knew that I wasn't going to walk out of there the same from the first day I walked in. And when I walked out, y'all, I'll never forget looking back at that cell and telling myself, like, I'm never coming back here again. So just staring over there at this gate, I remember pulling into there.
Yeah.
Like, I remember visually the officer stopping to put in his code and me going into those gates.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
It was
the end of the road and the beginning of a new path.
November of 2010, and he proposed around March of 2011. So a couple of months later, I got out and moved back with my granny, y'all. I'm back to point one, like back to where I started, y'all. And I moved back in with my granny with the kids and saved up again, y'all, for a place. Moved into the place. He moved in with me. And he proposed around March, and then a lot of crap. Y'all don't think that everything's gonna be perfect.
No, don't think
just because you have this you know that God has a plan for you. Like, you're still gonna have to go through things. There's still gonna be bumps in the road. Like, you are not escaping from test and trial, y'all.
Yeah.
So I had called the proposal off. I went to Jamaica. It was rocky, y'all. But we ended up making it work, y'all, and getting married December 30th of 2011. So exactly a year and a month from when we were here.
Yeah. But key note is I had to take the necessary steps to prove that I've changed. Fellas, love is about a choice. You have to choose. It's a choice, because I know people who were in the same predicament as us, young love. I know men that I come across a lot that are getting divorced, in and out of a relationship, on the rocks. But no, it's a choice. You choose. You have to make sacrifices. You do. One thing that she always tells me is that every year we can look back and see some growth. But people don't hold out.
If you can look back and see growth, keep going.
Keep going.
Like, if you look back and nothing has changed, you're not growing, that's a big sign that, something's wrong. You need to get quiet within yourself and do some self-reflecting. Part 3 is going to have to be on marriage because, y'all, we went into marriage with a lot of burdens, like with a lot of baggage. Oh, yeah. And y'all are going to have to subscribe,
like, share,
and stay tuned, because part 3 is going to be on how God mended our broken hearts back together. He had already restored us, but now it's the mending part. Now it's putting back together the pieces, putting back together a shattered heart. Because I still didn't trust it. We had a lot, y'all, that was still in between us. And it was tough the first 2 years.
Yeah.
It was tough. The first 2 years was like the years where he was really mending us back together. And y'all are going to have to wait for part 3.
Part 3. Continue to keep pressing. Because I read Facebook posts, and I know that it has become laughable that men can be faithful. It's become laughable.
That black men can still be fathers.
Black man,
That they can still be faithful. It's possible.
Yeah, it is possible.
Oh, it's so nice out here, y'all.
It is.
I'm on the other side of the gate, y'all. And I ain't mad at it, bruh.
You do have baby daddies, husbands, spouses, loved ones locked up. We'll pray for them. We will.
Yeah. Comment down below. Y'all tell us what y'all need from us. We're here for y'all. We're here to encourage y'all. We ain't on no YouTube for pranks and all of that bull crap. Like, we are honestly here to encourage, to inspire, to spark something back to life. And y'all, if we can do that in one person, we good to go. And if nobody has told you today, y'all, life is short, it's sweet. Stop and smell the roses. Stop, get quiet.
And don't forget to love,
laugh,
and live motivated. Peace.
Bye, y'all.
If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young.